Alright, so this video is going to be on how my bot works, my EA, and how it enters and exits trades and what it does. So I think first we'll look at some backtest results over an 8-year test. So we'll take a look at the equity chart, and it's got pretty smooth growth over time, and that is because we're not using hard stop losses. We do have COVID, a bit of a loss, and then Russia-Ukraine, but other than that it's pretty smooth over the 15 pairs that I trade. So on average did about 31% over these 8 years, but past results aren't always indicative of future outcomes, so take this with a grain of salt. And this is it running full auto using tick data from Tick Data Manager, so it's official data, and that's the results we've been given. So the trading theory is basing it off extensions in the market, and we're expecting a pullback. So when price is above this level, whatever you have it set to, the price is going to come down. If it's above, it's going to come down. If it's below, it's going to come up. Above, it's going to come down. Now we can't actually time this perfectly, so instead of using a hard stop loss, we're going to average into our positions. So as you can see over here, we were extended below the 70 right here. Now if I do a crosshair, it's actually on this candlestick here. So if I mark this out, we're going in for longs because it's extended down. Now if we were to use a stop loss and a take profit at maybe this last level, we would have been stopped out. So instead of using a stop loss, I'm going to enter very small into the market, and I'm going to space out and enter another trade below. So this might have done the movement which I've set in the bot, so I might add another buy here. The position size will also be increased or not, depending on what settings you run, and it's also going to have a spacer setting, so you're not getting in too soon or too far apart. So let's just say you get your first position here, and price moves against you. You're in such a small position size where this move isn't going to kill your account, because remember, this is the daily chart. So we're going to add another buy in here, and this lot size is going to be slightly bigger. So if it was the same size, our average price now would be right in the middle of these two. But since this is slightly bigger, it's actually going to move our average price closer, further down. So let's just say we're going for a long, we want to buy here, put another buy here, it moves again, so we do another buy, and it just continues to move against us. This movement won't put us in enough drawdown to worry us. Alright, so price continues to move against us. We're going to add another buy right at the bottom here. Keep in mind these are gradually again bigger, so our average price right now could be all the way down here, depending on what settings you have run. So price does eventually have that snapback that we're expecting because RSI is extended and it's now embedded. It does eventually have that snapback, and our average price is all the way down here. It's not all the way up at your first position. You didn't get stopped out once, twice, or 3 times. You in fact didn't lose any money because you're entering small and you're expecting the market to come back. It eventually does, and you get break even here. But now since it's so extended, you're like, oh, it's probably going to come up maybe to this next level of supply, or even this level of supply right here. So price does eventually come up to here, say if that's where you take profit, and you can get out profitable with those 4 trades you had on. And if you're a betting man, you might have set it even higher. So instead of your entry being here, your average would have been all the way down here. But it all depends on the settings you have running, but that is pretty much the gist of it. So pretty much we're waiting for extensions, and our extensions are the RSI on a higher time frame. So the RSI on a higher time frame above whatever levels you have set, I have mine to 70 and 30. Once it gets stretched above or below on a lower time frame like the M15, it'll wait for a moving average cross. So let's have a look at how it plays out. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this on a back test so you can see how it works. So RSI is extended above our 70 levels on the daily. We've had a moving average cross right here. let's cross the moving average. So we've added a short, and it's a small position size done to our risk, which we've got send the bot. The next short is dotted on the chart with the next lot size. So the first size was 0.23. The next one's going to be 1.3 times bigger. So it's going to be a 0.30. And let's just play it out and see. So if price goes straight here into take profit, we're going to close at 0.1, which I also have set. And if it moves against us, it will add, there you go, so add the 0.30. And if price continues to move against us, it will add the next one. So as you can see, our current profit is only at 0.30 negative. So even though it's moved against us this much, we haven't been stopped out, and we're still in it, and we're not that much in drawdown. So it looks like it's going to add another position, slightly larger than the previous, and there you go. So we had one slight loser, one slight gainer, and then one even bigger one. So out of these 3 trades, overall, we're profitable $250. Even though we were wrong almost twice, we're still profitable overall. So we're in another short, straight to take profit. And RSI is not extended, so we're not taking anything else at the moment. And this is just the settings I have. So all the settings are customizable if you want to be more risky. But this is waiting for daily extension, so you're getting less trades, but you're also going less drawdown. All right, let's go have a look at some of the settings we have. So first of all, we have open 1 trade per candlestick close. So it's not going to close, take profit, and then enter another one, for example. So that's the first setting. The second one is going to be risk. So you can either risk a fixed lot size when you get your extensions and you move an average cross, or you can risk a percentage of the account balance over one ADR movement. The ADR you can set below to do its calculations. So we have the ADR percentage to risk over, and we also have the dollar amount to risk over one ADR. Next up, we have the additional trade settings. So these are going to be when price moves against you, you're going to add more positions and average in. So this is the percentage of ADR where we're going to add the next trade. And then this is the multiplier of how much bigger each trade is going to be. The next setting, if set to true, price has to come above this line and have a moving average cross to be considered a good second position. And that's this setting here. Next up, we have the take profits. So single trade is if you have one position in the market, it's going to want to be in and out. If you get in multiple trades in one direction, you can change that as well. This is percent of the balance. And if you're in a hedge, so if you're long and short at the same time, the bot will automatically close out in a profit as well to whatever you have it set to. So that's percentages. Next up, we have dollar amounts, and pretty much the same as this. So single trade, multi-trade, and hedge. Now to the drawdown settings. These are important settings because you're not going to keep averaging in all the time, because you can have a really bad move against you and go into big drawdown, especially if you're trading this on 15 different pairs, you can blow the account. So drawdown settings are important and you definitely need them. So let's go through them. Perform drawdown. So if you have this set to false, it's not going to take drawdown control. Set to true is it will now look at the percentage of the account for a single trade to take drawdown control. So each trade individually. So if one position goes into 1% of drawdown, for example, it's going to close off 40% of that lot size. So you're scaling out as you're scaling into the market. Very important setting this. And next up, we have max open trades, which is also self-explanatory. How many trades it's going to open up? Maximum. I have it set to 100 because I don't really use it. But if you do and you want to be a bit safer, then you can have that set. Next up, close all trades at max drawdown limit. So if you set this to true and you set this to 5, once your account goes into 5% of drawdown, it's going to close off all of them in a loss. Now the RSI settings. So these will be the higher time frame which the EA looks for entries. So you can choose your RSI period, the type, the time frame, and the high and low triggers. So obviously the higher the time frame and the higher the levels, the less trades you're going to get, but the less drawdown you're going to get as well. And the last candle is, it has to be above or below that RSI to even consider it. Now the moving average cross, this will be on your lower time frame, so whatever chart you put it on, that'll be the time frame it looks at. So you can choose what cross it's going to have, if it's the 11, exponential, close price, all the different methods and types and periods. And now we come onto the ADR settings. So this will pretty much do the calculations for your risk over ADR movements. You can choose your ADR calculations as well. Last but not least, we have a swap filter. So when we get stuck in positions that keep moving against us for a long time, if we're in this for shorts and we're stuck in it for like 2 months and we're paying expensive swap fees on whatever currency pair it is, it's not going to be good. It's going to take you longer to try and get out if you're paying these fees over the 2 months. So you can choose not to pay expensive swaps. So if you set this to true, you can choose the amount and the bot will not take trades. Last but not least, we have general settings. So this is just the magic number. You have to have them different for every chart you have open. And we also have the orders comments, which is that black box you saw on the top left, which will just show you what your maximum drawdown position size is, what your account balance is, equity, all that. So if you set it to true, it will show up. If you set it to false, it will not show up. Right, so I found a really good example of the EA taking drawdown control. So I'll just let this play out. So just make this black and green and black. Get rid of the grid because it's annoying. So here we go. Price is extended up on the higher time frame, so we're expecting price to come down. However, it just keeps moving against us. So as you can see over here in this box, you can see our max drawdown right now is on ticket 1, and it's at 0.58% of drawdown. Overall in the account, we're negative 1.32%. So we're in drawdown. Now, we still, maximum is 0.80 on ticket 1, which is this ticket here, the very bottom one. And price is still moving against us. We still haven't taken a loss. However, we are in 2.74% of drawdown. So we'll keep playing it off, and price still is moving against us. So this is on the AU NZD pair, and it's kind of notorious for having these squeezes. So you might run different settings on this pair or each pair individually depending on what you think as a trader. So we just hit 1% of drawdown on this second ticket, which is now number 6. So we closed off 40% of this position size up here. However, we still haven't taken a loss on any of these other pairs. So price is going to bounce around, and we're just waiting for it to come into our profit to what we have set. So we just wait, and there you go. We come out with one small drawdown control, and this whole position altogether will be 0.25%, which is what I have set. So it's going to close all these out in a profit, even though you were wrong 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This one is a slight gainer, this one slight loss, and even more of a loss. But this one at the top gave us our profits back. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So if you do want to try this out for free, there is a demo on my MQL5, which will pretty much let you just use it in the MT4 strategy tester. So this is for MT4. So you will be able to use it in the strategy tester for free. If you want to use it with your actual money, then you will have to buy it, but I'll leave the link below, so check it out.